Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of One Pod Life. This week I'm talking to Elizabeth Schultz, all the way from California in America, and we talk about her career as she's forging away on the Symetra Tour over in America. For those who don't know, the Symetra Tour is pretty much the same as the LET Access Tour over here in the UK, and obviously helps women over there to forge their career on the LPGA. We talk about her career so far, especially how she qualified for the 2013 US Open. It was a really good chat to hear a different perspective over in America to what it is over here in the UK. So without further delay, here's Elizabeth Schultz.
Yeah, things are great, honestly. This winter I've been spending a lot of time in Phoenix, playing tournaments and training down there. And then I just got back from Vegas last week. I had a pro-am tournament thing that I played in out in the Vegas area. So It's been fun. Lots of golf and travel.
No, good stuff. That's what I like to hear. Keep you going. No, good stuff. So yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast. And yeah, it's just good to get a different perspective, because at the moment, all the golfers that I've really spoken to are all either playing on the European Ladies Tour or the Men's European Tour and tours over here. And I just wanted to get a different perspective on how growing up in America, playing golf, and then getting onto the Symetra Tour like you're on at the moment, and what that's like. So I guess let's start with, when did you first start playing golf and why?
Yeah, so I started playing golf at age 13. So kind of later than most.
Yep.
So I come from a non-golfing family. Neither of my parents play. So it was Masters Sunday. A family friend came over to watch it. It was my first time watching golf.
Okay.
And then I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. So then he brought in his clubs. We went into my backyard and he had me hitting cotton balls
Right.
over in the backyard. And he's like, all right, you kind of have a natural kind of good motion. And, I was an athlete. I played other sports. So then he took me out to the driving range after school that Monday, and I just loved it and literally got hooked and been playing ever since.
You got the bug like we all do. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And good stuff. I think that's quite cool, though. The fact that you watched your first ever Masters and then decided that you actually quite liked the game, and a couple of days later you was at the driving range loving it. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
No, because so the family friend, did he obviously, I'm guessing they played quite a lot as well, and were they a pretty good golfer?
So Dan is a pretty good golfer. He's probably between a 3 and 5 handicap or so.
That's pretty good.
So he would, so he kind of took me, under his wing, and he'd pick me up after school, and then we would go hit golf balls and go play and practice, and it was super great.
Oh, good stuff. So then, obviously, doing that, then at what point did you what was the next move? Did you start having lessons, or did you just go and play golf?
Yeah, so it was, so I was a competitive year-round swimmer, and then I did water polo too. That was my background. So basically it was after school, my mom would pick me up and be like, all right, do you want to go to swim practice or do you want to go hit golf balls? And I was like, well, I want to go hit golf balls. So it kind of slowly morphed into me not doing swim practice anymore and hitting golf balls and practicing.
Yep.
So it was Dan who was pretty much my coach and mentor all throughout high school. So he took me from when I started playing in 8th grade all the way through my senior year. Mm-hmm. And it was cool. I mean, it was something where I loved it and I still do. It was never something that my parents pushed me into. It was always me saying, hey, I want to go practice. And hey, I want to get better at this.
Well, the fact that you said that your mom gave you a choice, do you want to go do swimming like you've been doing for years and years and years?
Yeah.
Or go do something new like golf that you've just literally just started. I can't, obviously, I don't know. I guess if my parents were like that and they spent, I don't know how long you obviously doing the swimming for, but you'd be doing it for quite some time. Then you decide to go, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to go do golf.
Yeah. I started swimming at age 5, and I was a competitive year-round swimmer from age 8. Mm-hmm. So all the way from 8 until 13, and we would have a swim practice about 6 days per week. Yep. And in summer we would have mornings and afternoons.
No, definitely. I think it's fantastic that they then gave you the choice and didn't say to you, no, you need to carry on doing swimming.
Yeah, definitely.
No, good stuff. Okay, well, you then obviously throughout your high school years, I did a bit of research, and obviously I was looking through, and I noticed that you were in 2013 the Junior Golf Association of Northern California Girls Player of the Year.
Correct.
And you tied second at the, okay, I'll start this, CIF/CGA/NCGA State Girls Championship.
Yeah. Yes, it was the high school state championship.
Great stuff. So what happened in that year to click where you then got those two things under your belt?
Oh man, so 2013 was a great year for me. So that was like my junior year in high school, so like junior, senior year. That's when I really started to kind of blossom. And, I'm a really competitive person. So I've been playing tournaments, and I'm someone that kind of like my background in swimming really taught me the principles of hard work and showing up every day. So
Right.
I took that with me to golf. So that's how I got good really quickly. So even prior to those couple accomplishments, in 2013, I qualified for the Women's US Open. I was 16. Yeah, I was 16 when I qualified for that. So that all kind of happened that year. It was kind of crazy. Like I started playing golf at 13, and here I am at age 16 playing in, the biggest tournament in women's golf.
Yeah.
So it was all like that year when things came together. It was that. And then, and then like that tournament in junior golf, I was a Northern California Golfer of the Year. I played something like, I don't know, it was 6 tournaments or something like that, totaling like 16 under par. And and then like the state championship, that was huge getting there as like an individual too. I didn't come, because like my team wasn't quite good enough to make it. So I kind of brought myself through that. And like the state of California is one of the biggest and most competitive golfing states. So to take second my senior year, it was just fantastic.
Oh, definitely. And just going back to, I was going to mention again, like you said, about you qualified for the US Open.
Yes.
You went to qualify, and you scored a 74 and a 73 to qualify.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that experience like then? Like you said, you've only been playing it 3 years, and now you're playing at the top, like you said, the biggest tournament in women's golf.
Yeah.
What was that like as a 16-year-old?
That was so crazy. Yeah, so that was my first time playing 36 holes also.
Oh, right, okay.
It was like, like the Monday qualifier. It was over at Lake Merced Golf Club in Daly City, which is where they have the Mediheal tournament now. Over on the LPGA. So I literally walked in there with no expectations. It was kind of funny. So Dan, my coach, family friend, mentor, he was the one who wanted me to sign up for the Women's Open qualifier. And I literally remember having an argument with him. I was like, Dan, I'm not going to sign up. Like, I'm not talented enough. I'm not, my game isn't there yet to qualify for this tournament. I was like, why, what, like, there's no point in me signing up and taking the day off school and spending the money and the time. I was like, I'm not going to qualify.
Yeah.
But it was like, we kind of had like this little argument. And then I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm just going to sign up. So I literally went in with no expectations. I had like my push card out there, and I was just playing golf. I wasn't even really thinking about qualifying. And next thing I know, I was like, oh my God. Once I turned in like my scorecard after like the whole day, I was like, oh my God, like I have a pretty good chance here. And next thing you know, I'm like, wow, I just qualified.
and then you've got Dan in your ear going, I told you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, so you went off to the US Open. And again, obviously, I'm guessing going into that, a whole new environment, arena. I'm guessing fans walking around as well. And what was from your perspective? What was your experience of that?
Oh man, it was so cool. I mean, gosh, I just got there like on site. This is my first time playing in any event sanctioned over by the USGA.
Mhm.
But man, you walk in like the locker rooms, you see Stacey Lewis right there, you see Lexi Thompson, you're there with them. Everything's all roped up. I mean, you see the grandstands, and I was 16 and I actually didn't have like my driver's license yet, even. So like my dad was like that, he was like there with me.
Yeah.
Show up to like the airport and like you have like a courtesy Lexus just like waiting for you for like the week. So I was like, man, this is unreal. So it was cool. I mean, God, just like the first couple of days, I was so nervous, honestly. I was
I
like,
can imagine.
But it's funny though, like the first day of the tournament, I had like no nerves. I think because I had done like all like the practice rounds and kind of like got it out then. I just walked up on the first tee, hit it straight down the middle, and then like parred like my first hole. It was like no problem.
Well, was really one of my questions was, did you have any first tee nerves? But obviously, like you said, you just felt.
Yeah, definitely during the practice rounds I did, but I just think that I kind of got like used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first day I didn't.
I think I couldn't find what your result was at that. How did you get on?
Yeah, so the first day I shot a 78. So I had an eagle actually that first round.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the 16th hole, uphill, par 4, Sebanet Golf Club over in Long Island, New York. Drive down the middle, I had like 200 yards. My caddies are like, all right, like let's hit the like 5 wood, like middle of the green. And then I'm like, all right. So I hit it and I push it and then it's like right at it. So I was like, all right, like we'll see. And there's a big grandstand next to like the hole as well.
Yep.
And like there's fans watching. So the ball goes up, it's looking good, but everyone's silent. So I'm like, all right, like it must have gone long or, something like that. So like I said, the ball hit on the back part of the green and rolled like way down this hill and ends up going in. The crowd goes nuts. Wow. And then I was like, oh my God, like I just like made eagle.
Fantastic.
That was
well
an
done.
unreal moment.
Yeah. What a time to do it as well in that sort of setting. So you've got all the fans there as well.
Oh yeah. So that was so cool. But yeah, I was just soaking in like the whole moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, I will say so I qualified at a pretty green stage in my career. So there were parts of my game that weren't quite developed yet, to be honest, especially like my bunker game. So it was like, I shot a 78 and made an eagle, but I also took an 8 over on a hole because I didn't know how to get out of like the sand trap properly.
that's my kind of score when it goes in.
Yeah, right. And then the second day was kind of like a similar story with like the whole sand trap thing. But the whole moral of it is like it was such a cool experience for me to play in it and be with the best players in, over in the world and really see and realize that, hey, I want to do this someday as my job, as my profession.
No, I like
and I was just smiling like the entire time out there.
No, great stuff. Oh yeah, what a great experience. And obviously that obviously then set you up quite nicely to then decide, right, this is definitely what I want to do going forward. And then that set you up to go off to San Jose State University. Were you there for 4 years?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so obviously in the UK, obviously sort of got scholarships, golf sports scholarships aren't really that big over here. So for us, obviously the guys get to like 16 and then they get chucked into mini tournaments where they can then qualify for Euro Pro, Challenge Tour, and then work their way up that way. But obviously in the States, they've got a really good sort of sports system for university. So what was your experience like of being there for 4 years and then just...
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. So so we have a top tier program. It's great. So I'm from the East Bay. So San Jose is about an hour south of me. So it's great. It's local. So I could still come home and see like my coach at home on weekends and whatnot. And the whole athletic facility and program is fantastic. I mean, especially during my junior year, the Spartan Golf Complex was built.
Yep.
So it used to be like the old track stadium was there, and then like tennis, baseball, softball, that was all torn down to build this epic golf complex, like full range, chipping, putting, wedges, everything. And it's all just a private area just for our teams, and then for like limited membership as well. So that was fantastic to have access to that and like the great golf courses here over in like the Bay Area too. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, having like my teammates and traveling with them and building some of those friendships that like I'll have, you know, for like life. I mean, I had a great college experience and I loved it. And I'm very happy that I chose to play college golf first before turning pro.
No, definitely. You were pretty busy there. You played 115 rounds and you played every tournament I think that you could possibly play in.
That's right.
And yeah, I just picked out throughout the years that you were there from 2014 to 2018. And
yes.
I just picked out you had you finished second twice in 2 tournaments and you finished 6th twice. So I guess throughout your 4 years there, what would you say was your best ever moment?
Oh man, my best moment. That's a tough one. Well, I mean, definitely, I mean, from like a performance standpoint, that one tournament that we played in Fort Collins, that tournament, I finished second in that one year. And then I think like I top 5 or 10 to like a different year too.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that being in contention to win, kind of like I was in that tournament, like I think I shot a 69 or 68, kind of like the last round. But being in contention to win and being right there was super cool. I mean, that's what we all practice hard and train for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But ultimately too, like with it was cool playing for a team and having like my teammates to not only, you know, do well for me, but to play well for my entire team and support them and go in that together.
Yeah. How many of you are there on the team?
So it varied. I feel like that our teams in general were on like the smaller size, but I think a couple years we were 7 girls. And then like my sophomore year, we might've been 10, but yeah, they always kind of kept it around like the 7, 8, 9 number.
Okay.
So it's definitely, I mean, pretty like tight knit for sure.
Yeah. I wasn't too sure. I don't know if it was like 30, 50 people or it was like you said.
Oh, no. It's 7 of us. And then even like my junior year, we were a team of 7. And then we had like a apartment, like housing thing, like thing on campus. And then there was 4 of us who like lived together too.
Oh, right,
so, nice. I mean, you know, a lot of us are super tight and I still talk to a lot of my close friends and teammates today.
Now, One Pod Life is brought to you in partnership with Energy Golf, the leading golf development platform. They are committed to providing a service that allows you to reach your maximum potential by improving your mindset, creating physical longevity, and funding your golf career. What they've done is take professional tour team experience and brought it to you through their platform so you can have your very own tour team in your pocket. Energy Golf offers the ability to learn from leading professionals in the fields of fitness, nutrition, breathing, caddying, psychology, business, as well as proven tour winners and many more. There are also courses based around the mental aspects of golf, such as mental toughness, emotional control, and self-esteem. Visit energy.com to learn more, and to claim your exclusive 1-month free trial, simply send an email with the subject OnePodLife to info@energy.com and enjoy. Now let's get back to the podcast. Well, that all led to you then. I didn't know what happened after you left university, but obviously you are now on the LGPA Symetra Tour, which is the road to the LGPA.
Yep.
Like what we have over here for like MENA tours over here and Challenge Tour and stuff like that for the European Tour. And obviously for the ladies, we got the the Ladies Access Series as well.
Yeah.
So what happened? Your rookie year was in 2019. So at what point did you kind of turn pro and then decide that you're going to go down the Symetra Tour?
Yeah, so I wrapped up college May 2018, and then I had a couple summer classes. So like I was officially like done with school like mid-end July. So then Q School is always like the second week of August in Palm Springs. Mm-hmm. So I knew that professional golf was always something that like I was interested in and wanting to do. And when I finished college, I like wasn't sure. I was like, am I quite ready yet? So I played in some amateur events in like the California State Open and some things that summer and ended up playing very, very well. Like I finished second in like the California State Am, which was a couple weeks before Q school. So I was like, all right, like I'm playing some solid golf. And also too, so stage 1 is over at the Dinah Shore course in Palm Springs, which is where they have the Anna first like major over of the year inspiration. And then also for college golf, so I was in the Mountain West Conference. We always played our conference championship over on the Dinah course, which is where stage 1 was at. So stage 1 was on the Dinah, the Palmer, and Shadow Ridge. So it was a course that like I had already played like something like 20 times during college golf. So I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, like I've played it, I know it, I like it. So I signed up and then got through stage 1, made it to stage 2, and then earned like partial status over on the Symetra Tour.
Yep.
So in like a normal season, there's between 20 and 24 events. So my first year I had partial status. So I played about 10 tournaments.
Okay.
And yeah, that was cool. So I did that. And then I played on the WAP Tour as well, the Women's All Pro Tour, which is the Symetra Tour qualifying tour. So I started with something like the WAP, and then I finally got my first Symetra start and then played really solid. I believe I shot like -3 over 3 rounds and finished tied for 33rd. Okay. It was something like around that. I'm not sure if it was even or 3 under, but somewhere like right in like that range. So that was solid. And then after that, I got into the next reshuffle, and then I was able to kind of finish out and play like most of the tournaments. So I did like a partial season, and yeah, that was a great experience. I mean, getting to travel and play with some like the best woman, players in women's golf. That was fantastic. And I learned a lot my first year, especially. I was able to pick up on, all right, what are my strengths? What are the areas that like I can do better at? So I took all that information with me and then brought that with me into 2020 and Q School. So then basically I went back to Q School for 2020 and had a really solid tournament showing, went through stage 1, got to stage 2 and finished top 80. And I just missed out on stage 3, but anyone who finished top 80 and ties gets full status over in the Symetra Tour, which is what I was able to secure. So I was like, all right, fantastic. I'm going to play like a full season. So then this was 2020 and then COVID hit, so it kind of turned into like the whole COVID year. But at least with it, though, I bring my status that I had earned from 2020 into this year. So definitely. I will have full status for this coming season.
No, great stuff. So I guess a major plan for you in 2021 then would be to obviously finish really high on the order of merit. I'm guessing on the Symetra Tour, and gain your status on the full LGPA.
Yeah. So top 10 will end up earning their card. And numbers 11 through 35 will go straight to stage 3. So those would be like my first and second goals. First goal, finish top 10, get my tour card, boom, play over on the LPGA next year. But if not, yes, getting into that top 35 so I can go to stage 3 and give myself a chance of qualifying that way. That would be my ultimate goal for this year.
So if you did get to the qualification straight to stage 3, does that also give you full card for the Symetra Tour as well?
So if you go straight to stage 3, roughly, so there's about 90 girls who play. Numbers 1 through 20. So Q School is like 2 weeks at stage 3. So numbers 1 through 20 get full status over on the LPGA. Numbers 21 through roughly 40 or 45 get partial status over on the LPGA, and numbers 45 or like 46 through like the 90 get full Symetra status. So definitely if you can at least get like yourself to stage 3, then you can give yourself a really good chance of at least earning, some kind of status on the LPGA or securing full Symetra.
Nice. No, well done. Well, yeah. So fingers crossed. Yeah, you said that first goal, finish top 10, easy, go play on the LPGA. Dreams achieved, we can move on. But yeah, otherwise get to stage 3 and really work hard to get it that way instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Great stuff. Wow, great stuff. So what other plans have you got for 2021 going forward? You said earlier that you're already playing quite a little bit at the moment. Obviously weather's stopped you at the moment, but yeah, what other big plans have you got for 2021?
Yeah, so right now, like kind of like I mentioned earlier, so I've been spending like this past winter, I've been spending more time down in Phoenix, partially because, I had some tournaments down there, but also in California, in the Bay Area, there's been lockdowns with COVID.
Yep.
So it's been nice to be down in Arizona, but I'm back over in the Bay Area now, and I'm going to be here for like the next 3 weeks or so. And then, end of the month, I'm going to go back down to Phoenix and start playing a couple mini tour events to prep for our season, which is set to start March 15th over in Phoenix.
Okay, great stuff.
So our first events are all going to be down in Phoenix, Southern California, Utah. Mm-hmm. So I'll kind of be down in that area. But yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to a full season of travel and competing. Yeah, I mean, we start mid-March, and basically like my schedule is going to be pretty much full until mid-October. Oh, and then that's when Q School is. So a lot of golf, a lot of travel, and competing.
Well, hopefully you won't have to go to Q School, remember?
Yeah, no, exactly, right?
you have a month off or something.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Right. Good stuff. Well, Elizabeth, thank you for giving us an insight into what golf is like over in America, especially on the Symetra Tour, because that's exactly the kind of person and golfer that I'm looking to talk to understand what a journey looks like from learning to play the game to actually then turning pro and the struggles of how to get onto the actual main tours. Yeah.
No, for sure. Thank you so much for having me.
That's right. One thing I will finish with is what I've been asking every golfer that I speak to is your top 3 tips for any young or aspiring golfer trying to become a professional. Through your experiences and your training, what would you say are the top 3 things that someone needs to do to become a professional golfer?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, make sure that you're having fun and enjoying it out there. If you're enjoying the experience and understanding that it's a process, it's not going to happen instantly. I think that it'll bring more like joy, and then you'll see better success too. I think. No,
definitely.
That's way. So having that kind of outlook for sure.
Yeah, that's quite a common tip, that one.
Yeah, definitely working on your short game, I think is really key as well. Chipping, putting, like scoring is key. The days that you're hitting the golf ball great, those are days then to take it super low. Mm-hmm. And then the days where maybe ball striking isn't, as on, then your short game is there to save you.
Yep.
And I would also say getting involved with like other players and playing games. So if you have like another friend, or if you're involved in like a junior golf league or something over at like your home club, I think surrounding yourself with other players who are trying to get better and, accomplish similar goals to you, I think is great to be around. That's something that I noticed for myself when I was down in Phoenix this past winter. There's a lot of professional golfers down there. Mm-hmm. And having that chance to go out and play with them and, have a competition with them, learn from them, compare my strengths and weaknesses is really huge. Okay. Over in the Bay Area, there are some professional golfers here, but not nearly as many as there is down in Phoenix. So I think playing with other players is really good and important too.
No, fantastic. Thank you very much. That's some really good tips. And especially the last one, obviously, if you play with better people, you become better yourself. So
yeah, that's right.
Definitely. No, great stuff. Well, Elizabeth, thank you again for giving me some of your time today to explain all that to us.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
I wish you all the best of luck when the season starts in March. And I'll be looking out to see if your name gets into if you'll be in the Q School or if you bypassed it altogether.
All right. Sounds fantastic. Thank you so much, Lloyd.
So a massive thank you to Elizabeth there for coming on and giving us a bit of a time early in the morning over in America. So yeah, it's, like I said, I thought it was a really good chat, a different perspective on how another country sort of sets up all their golfers for the top tournaments. Now, as usual, guys, hope you really enjoyed the episode. Don't forget you can follow me over on Instagram at OnePuttLife. And if you really did enjoy this episode, share it with your friends, put it on your stories, let everybody else know that there are other episodes they can go back and listen to. So thank you again, guys. Have a great week.